going to be taking a look at another self-published book that is by an indie author that I actually, well, up until I reread this book, kind of liked. However, rereading this, I really remember why I wasn't a big fan of her when I first read her stuff. It took like 4 of her books for me to actually warm up to her. But today we're going to be looking at Hollowland by Amanda Hocking. If I can pull it up on my fucking Kindle. But let's see here. Anyway, Hollowland by Amanda Hocking. It is a book that is not exactly something that is really in my range of shit that I enjoy. I will honestly admit that most of the books I review on here are not books that are in any particular genre that I have professed to even slightly have any interest in. But, I mean, it's zombies, and it should... Hollowland. There's the cover. I was trying to pull it up, but this was from when she was so inexperienced with formatting and whatever that she couldn't even add the cover to the beginning of the book. So it was just the tiny little cover on my Kindle Fire. But where the fuck to begin? This is one of those books that by default, even though it's not a genre that I'm particularly fond of, which, zombies, I'm not big on zombies, but there should still be gore, you know? There should still be at least a little gore. It's a teen novel, and it's centered around a zombie outbreak, and, I mean, well, zombie outbreak, but it you would still think there would be some gore, or at least a little bit of well-written action. No, not really. It's actually kind of disappointing. The basic plot is Remy, our first of many oddly named characters, because Amanda Hocking names all of her fucking characters like a hipster parent on fucking crack. Remy is in a quarantine, and that quarantine is getting attacked by zombies. She decides to bust out because she needs to be with her brother, who is in, like, the med center of this quarantine. She busts out, and a couple of other girls follow her. Harlow and Sommer. You cannot tell me that Sommer is supposed to be fucking pronounced summer. It's Sommer. Sommer. Also, I literally just realized that I forgot to take this shit down. And, I mean, you can tell exactly how little interest I have in this book by the fact that I didn't even do my goddamn chalk cover thing. And I'm not planning on reshooting this for this, so I'm not going to do my chalk cover thing. But we'll pull that down so you're not confused as to what the fuck you're watching. You're not watching me review The Hunger Games. This is Hollowland. Anyway, Sommer and Harlow follow Remy, who comes across some random throwaway soldier that dies. And before he dies, he tells Remy that her brother has been moved to another castle, basically. He was part of the med unit or whatever, and they were evacuated first, and her best bet is going to be to go to a quarantine that's north. Like, I'm pretty sure that's all he says in the book is just go north. That's your best bet. So, she does, and they escape, but in their escape, Sommer gets infected, probably. So, Remy makes the heartless, cruel decision to leave her behind, and Harlow, like, looks at her really weird for a few chapters for that. And then a lot of shit happens, and the only real shit that actually has any point to it is they find probably like a circus or just exotic animal truck, and it's got a lion in the back. Remy decides to name it Ripley after Ripley from Alien, If you think that I'm making that shit up, it says it straight in the book that she's naming the fucking lion after Ripley from Alien. um, that happens, and then the stop immediately after that when they find a house that's got some supplies. Those are the only two stops in this entire fucking thing that have any relevance to the fucking plot. This book, oh my god, you guys. This fucking book. It's not even so much any one character suffering from shit keeps happening to me syndrome. The entire book suffers from shit keeps happening to me syndrome. And there's like hair on my nose, so. But fucking the entire fucking book suffers from shit keeps happening to me syndrome. Entire book. And honestly, Remy's character kinda makes me rethink my stance on Mary Sue's. Like, I'm thinking I might have to come up with an actual trope name that I use for a Mary Sue, because I'm still not someone who holds anything against Mary Sue's. I actually kind of enjoy them overall. They're kind of fun. They make stories interesting and unique and special. And, you know, the Mary Sue has a lot of merit to it if you actually let it develop beyond just the I'm awesome at everything. Because, let me tell you, there are plenty of action stars, male action stars, that qualify as Mary Sue's, as, you know, the definition or whatever goes. I'm sure most people would call them Gary Stews, because, you know, we can't have the gender roles, like, mixing or whatever. But I digress. This is not a rant about fucking Mary Sue's, even though Remy is one. Remy is a big one. Fucking throughout the entire book, she changes her mind on shit like that. And, like, I'm okay with that in most situations. Like, I mean, I fucking praised Katniss for that shit. And, I mean, that's understandable with Katniss. Katniss, I think, was 16 or 17. That was either her last or second to last year in the Reaping. So, I mean, shit. She is fully capable of, you know, making random-ass, you know, quick, split-second decisions and changing her damn mind all the damn time. She's still a young teenager still, technically. She's not a fucking adult. Remy, on the other hand, is an adult. She's at least 2 years older than Katniss, and despite the fact that they're both going through massive amounts of emotional and physical trauma, I think Katniss handled it better, even though, you know, she had a lot more at stake. She had people actively trying to kill her, whereas Remy just has zombies that aren't actively seeking her out to kill her. They're just kind of roaming the countryside. But every single thing that happens, you'd think it's a personal slight against Remy. Fucking, at one point, she's full-on willing and ready to just leave Harlow and the other two dudes that showed up at that stop, and they're so forgettable that I'm not even gonna fucking bother talking about them until, you know, the end, when they actually become somewhat relevant. But she's fully willing to abandon them at a random-ass other stop that they stop at because another character that had only been introduced literally 2 chapters earlier got killed on her watch. Therefore, Remy got that character killed. That was totally Remy's fault. 100%, yep. And don't even fucking get me started on the goddamn forced fucking chemistry between fucking Remy and Laszlo Durant. Okay, so there's this fucker, and that they meet after they get fucking Ripley the Lion. Ripley starts following them, they make it to another house, they're ransacking it, and suddenly these 2 dudes show up. Blue and Laszlo. Laszlo is given a last name. Blue I don't think is. Laszlo was basically a Justin Bieber before the fucking shit hit the fan. And they're not even actually zombies, by the way. They're fucking all sufferers of, like, a weird mutated rabies virus. Because, you know, rabies makes you a zombie. But that's not even the most unbelievable bullshit in the fucking book. No, no. See, I was willing and able to spend my disbelief on so many things until I hit one thing that actually fucking pissed me off because I know it's impossible in the way that she was describing it. And it's the one time in the entirety of the fucking book that she really should have actually fucking described shit rather than moving the story along. There are so many cases in this book of times when she should have just moved the fucking story along. And she didn't. She stopped and described shit. Even the action. It's like, and then I hit him, and I raised my gun, and the zombie lunged, and this, and that. There's no urgency to the fighting. None. None at all. But the thing that got me was they managed to locate an SUV after that second stop, where they found Blue and Laszlo. They managed to get an SUV, and at some random-ass gas station, where the town apparently had no power, Hawking made no mention of this town having power, and there's no reason that a town would still have power ages after a fucking outbreak like this has happened and, you know, humanity is being wiped the fuck out. There's no reason that there would still be power. So, there's no mention of actually having power. There's no backup generator. There's no mention of, you know, the hum of a generator in the distance. They pull up to a gas station and just pump gas and go. No. No. No, no, no. No, no, no. 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 I know it's possible to pump gas without fucking power, but if you're fucking pointing that out in an apocalyptic fucking survival thing, you should actually mention the fact that it's not something you can just be like, herder, and, you know, take the fucking thing, you know, the nozzle, stick it in your car, and it's magically gonna start pumping gas. You kinda need electricity for those pumps to work. You're either gonna have to siphon it, or you're gonna have to fucking use some other means, not just, you know, herder, stick the nozzle in my car, and now I'm gassing up my car. You need electricity for those fucking things to work. Believe me, I know. That was actually something I used to do. I worked at a gas station for like 5 fucking years. And there was one winter where we had like pumps that were freezing overnight, and because nobody fucking got that grade of gas overnight. So, like, we just decided to stop turning the power on to that grade of gas. And we could still sell the upper 2 grades, but regular gas was not sellable during the night because the, like, lines kept freezing or some shit. So, like, you can turn the power off to a gas pump and it will not work. And that is the part that really fucking pissed me off. Like, I had to stop reading the book for a solid 20 minutes after that and just go, really? Of all the things you just kind of glaze over, that would actually be an interesting thing to talk about. Like, you know, she talks about all this other random shit that she's doing for survival, and like all this, you know, rationing of food and shit, but just glazing over that. Like, okay, way to show that you did absolutely no research for this. Like, there's a little research shown in the fucking virus creation, but that's about it. Beyond that, maybe she looked at a map, but you can tell that it was written in, like, something like 2 to 3 weeks, and honestly, like, I hate saying that about writers when, you know, I don't know if it's true or not, but with Amanda Hawking, good thing. I can tell you that it's fucking true, because she used to fucking tell in, earlier interviews that she gave, particularly ones with the Pioneer Press and Star Tribune, which are the local newspapers around here in Minnesota, well, the southern part of Minnesota. those newspapers, she used to give these fucking interviews and shit because she was this big fucking media darling for indie publishing. And she used to give these interviews, and she would just point blank say that she would write a book in 7 to 10 days. The first draft of a book. And then she would re-edit and edit for close to a month, and that would be the final product. I think she should have edited for a little closer to 2 months, because beyond just the fact that the plot doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense, I mean, it's noble enough to want to be there for your fucking brother. It's a noble cause. But for fuck's sake, just throwing obstacles in your character's path that are easily overcome and have zero bearing on the rest of the story, that does not a plot make. Like, fucking, I think Fate had more plots than this shit did. I know Hit had more plot than this shit did, and I only read the first 2 chapters of Hit. So, I mean, fuck, man. The fact that she rushed through writing it is really apparent, too. Like, I was counting typos, and honestly, there are fewer typos in this than there were in fucking Fate, but there was still a lot of typos. This is a very short book, and it still had something like 25 typos that I counted. Now, of course, that might have changed. I know that she has edited things and reissued, she's republished things like newer, later editions after, fixing issues that have been pointed out to her. However, this is a copy that I purchased way the flying fuck back when she was first a big thing in publishing. And by the way, if it's not apparent that I actually sort of, and if nothing else, I kind of enjoy her writing, even if I think it's trite and kind of lazy and rushed, and the names are hipster, and she's not that great at balancing description and action, I do find some enjoyment in writing her books, because, I've got like 5 right up here. But anyway, back to what I was saying, this is a copy that I fucking bought way the hell back when she was first becoming a big thing, which I think was like 2010, 2011, and Amazon, for whatever reason, doesn't let you update to the most recent edition. You get the edition that you purchased. That's it. I don't know if there's a workaround to be able to purchase a later edition, or, sync that to get the later edition, but I've got the original, I think, 2nd or 3rd edition that she'd released. So, this already had extra editing, and I'm pretty sure this might have been one of the ones that she actually had actual editing help on, and it still had like 25 typos. I want to say it was actually 23, but it could have even been as many as 27 that I counted. And they were all glaring. Most of them were actually, missing entire chunks of sentences. It would just kind of trail off into, and that would be it. Seriously. Something like 20 instances of that. Ugh. Overall, I can't recommend this book. It's honestly like a vampire from hell. I can't recommend this book. I can't. It doesn't have enough to it that is redeeming. It doesn't have redeeming qualities, enough of them to actually say, hey, yeah, buy this book. It's, 99 cents on Kindle. And I think it is still 99 cents on Kindle. But I can't, in good conscience, be like, hey, waste your money on this, because it's really not that good of a read. The other thing that really bothers me about it, honestly, the characters are, at least, the characters are all kind of one-dimensional. Some of them have extra dimensions, but they're all kind of one-dimensional and flat. But the thing that really bothered me, and I would have totally been cool with one-dimensional characters if the entire book hadn't been like this. But the fucking entirety of the book, from the beginning until the ass end, is just non-stop shit fucking happening the whole time. You don't get 5 seconds of fucking peace. It's just constant go, 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 go. This happens, this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens. You don't get any fucking peace, you don't get any rest. There's scenes that span like 4 or 5 chapters, and that wouldn't be a problem if the scenes actually demanded like a break where the chapter breaks happen, but they don't. The scenes would have been better, and really would have been better if they would have just been combined into into single chapters. Like, yeah, there would have only been like 6 chapters in the book, but 6 long chapters would be so much preferable to, what is it, something like 22 fucking short-ass chapters? Oh my god, seriously. I'm really glad that she got better at doing chapter breaks as her career has gone on, but shitting Christ. How? How do you manage to fuck up chapter breaks that bad? How? How? Oh, man. Anything I pull from the goddamn box after this is gonna be a breath of fresh air. So let's grab the box. Let's grab the box right now. I should have grabbed the box before I started, but I didn't grab the box. Alright. The box. Shake it on up. Shake it on up. Open it on up. Let's see what I will pull out today. What is the book bitch going to review next? I think I've got a piece of paper. What do I got here? What do I got? Sybil. Sybil. I think that is a book about a schizophrenic woman. That is actually a paperback I have. If so, that's going to be an interesting read. And if not, I'm going to be really interested to find out what the hell Sybil actually is. Alright, I guess I'll see you next Wednesday with my review of Sybil. Bye, guys. Welp, I lied. I tried reading Sybil, but I'm gonna have to use one of my 2 skips I'm giving myself this season. That writer was more pretentious than anything I've ever seen John Green write. Anything I've ever seen him write. Like, he's generally my barometer for holy fucking shit, this shit is fucking pretentious as fuck. That writer blew him straight the fuck out of the water. Oh my god. I didn't even get 2 pages into the first chapter. I couldn't. I could not. So instead, next week, I did do another quick pull. I didn't do it on camera, but I did pull another one. It's called Hidden Monster, and I will be reviewing that next week, so look forward to that. Okay, bye.